that small place with a big heart. It's the heartland, so we pump hard, get a fists up. We gonna rage on till our day gone.
Tell 'em I'm from a city on the map that you couldn't point out, but I rep that place. And it's love hate, but I grew up here.
Hello, Iowa. Welcome back to the continuing story that is the other state of hockey. What are we? That's a good question.
Yeah. Answer
All right.
for us.
Well, we got, to be the paraphrase the moving company. We're two guys on a microphone, I guess.
And one producer.
And one producer, yes. And the other ragtag assortment of people that tend to associate with us.
The other woman in our life that bosses us around.
That's right. That's right. This is our radio wife. Patty on the other side of the glass. The other state of hockey, we are the only full-time media outlet dedicated to our favorite sport, which we feel has been so underserved in this market.
One of the greatest sports on earth.
Yeah, I firmly agree with that, and we hope that you do too. And if you don't, well, let us convince you. And if you don't believe us, well, fine. That's your opinion, but we're the one with the microphone.
And I'll hit you with a stick.
Derek Hender, Frank Mink, back every week as we are Thursdays at 1350 ESPN.
That's right.
Powered by webcast1live.com. So, Frank, how you feeling, man?
I feel good.
Feel good?
Yeah, coaching a lot this week, so learning a lot of stuff.
Did you play last night?
No, I'm supposed to play tonight, but I'm going to go home and tend to a sick children.
Oh, that's right.
My wife is in San Francisco, so.
Dad first.
Yeah, I know, dad first.
Just a slim first, but yes, it's still.
I'm surprised I got to do the radio show. I mean, they're both homesick, and well, my son's got a concussion, so.
Just imagine the mess when you get home.
Yeah, I know. Already been there. Been there twice to pick up during work. So.
Yep. All right, first period, we're going to kick it off here as we usually do, talking about the big news in hockey.
Yes.
First thing we'll talk about, the streak is alive, and anybody is wondering what that streak is, well, there's two streaks actually alive. We have Patrick Kane's streak, which is still alive, still throwing up big numbers, despite the fact we were this far into the season. 24 games, 25 games?
Is it 24 now?
I think it's 24 games.
Maybe tonight he'll play.
Yep.
So.
Yep. He barely got away. He got an empty netter the other night. I think it was Tuesday night. But, like we said about scoring goals, it's the ketchup bottle.
That's right.
You just can't help but throw it at net sometimes without going in. The other streak that's worth mentioning, too, is third week in a row, Frank's made it here on time.
Hey, that's a good streak.
That's a good streak.
Keep that up.
We're keeping that streak alive. I'm sure they're not keeping track of it, but Maddie's streak starts at 1 after today.
Well, yes, Maddie will. Yes, let's get on her.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we talked about last week. The GMs were meeting in Monterey, California, a great hotbed of hockey.
Absolutely, I'm sure the golf courses were empty.
Zamboni was neatly manicuring the greens. I'm sure. We talked a little bit about a couple of things that we're talking about and not talking about. Compensation pick was the first one.
You brought that up 2 weeks ago.
Yep. And sure enough, they have decided to do away with the compensation pick.
I'm telling you, they listened to the show.
I'm telling you.
We talked about that compensation pick just 2 weeks ago.
Exactly. So what that is, for those of you who don't know, basically if you were a former coach or a current executive or whatnot, and you were courted by another team to come onto a bigger role, because we know these executives and players and whatnot move their way up through, and coaches work their way up through.
Right.
And eventually you don't always finish where you start. You may end up in another team, like Babcock ended up in Toronto, and things like that.
Right.
But if you're still under contract, the teams felt that they had to be compensated somehow for this. The typical agreed upon was a third-round pick within 3 years, second or third-round pick within that 3-year period after. So the problem was that somehow it legally got extrapolated to include coaches that were fired.
Fired, but still under contract.
Right. So if you have a 5-year contract and you're fired after your second year, they still have your rights for the remainder of that time. So when we look at it this year,
because fired, they're still going to get paid.
Right. They still get paid. He's just relieved of duty.
Right.
So he gets to stay home, watch it, and be one of us on TV.
Yeah.
Melrose did it for you. Made a career of it, right?
Yeah.
So
Tortorelli was doing it.
Exactly.
He went to NGL Network when he got fired.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, and he'll probably be back there again in a couple of months. I'm sure they'll keep his anchor jacket for him. But you look at the Bruins this year got a second-round pick for Peter Chiarelli, their former GM.
Right.
Fired, went to Edmonton. Edmonton had to surrender a second-round pick to him. The Sabres got a third-round pick, had to give up a third-round pick to Pittsburgh for Dan Bilesma. Dan Bilesma hasn't coached there in forever, but because he was still within the term of that contract.
Right.
Now, actually, I've heard that the current Pittsburgh coach, whose name has escaped me, is apparently in hot water right now.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. You'd potentially be two coaches away, and they're still paying for it.
They hired the Pittsburgh hired that coach before they even hired their GM.
Yeah, which is backwards.
Right. Usually hire your GM who brings in their guy, one of their guys.
Because if the GM gets fired and you're the coach, you may want to update your resume.
That's right. Yeah. That's your friend up in the front.
So
office.
effective January 1, this is gone. A couple of teams hit with this year. Columbus had a second rounder to Vancouver from Tortorella.
Okay.
We look at Oilers paid up a second and a third rounder because they got Chiarelli, as we mentioned, but they also gave up a third round pick for Todd McClelland, who was fired from San Jose.
Now, is this still going to go into effect since that Tortorelli thing is going to happen next year? That pick will happen. I wonder if is it grandfathered in?
I don't know. I from what I read, it's effective January 1, it's gone, so I don't know if everything up to that point or everything pending.
Yeah.
Now, they asked Brendan Shanahan, who's the president of the Toronto Maple Leafs, he didn't care what picks he had to give up because he obviously knew that was going to be something. So I would tend to think that everything that's effective right now, going forward, that the practice will be changed as of January 1.
Okay.
So, interesting. We're talking about getting compensation for coaches changing teams. I looked it up. As you know, I like to do a little bit of fun research once in a while. It's a hobby. What can I say? Who is the only coach, and the last coach for that matter, to ever be traded in the NHL? I didn't prep him for this one at all.
No,
so
not at all. I mean, give me is it in the 70s, 80s?
It was in the 80s. It was in 1987. It happened at the draft. So everyone was equally surprised.
Wow. 80s coaches would.
The dollar figure that's attached to it as well will also be quite an indicator of the
It
time.
wouldn't have been. No. Was Bowman a coach then?
Bowman was a coach then, but he was with Pittsburgh at the time. Nope. Okay. It was Michel Bergeron from Quebec Nordiques.
Okay.
He went to, it was right before the draft, he was traded along with $75,000 to the New York Rangers. $75,000 is a tax they pay on some of these transactions now.
Well, now, yeah.
Yeah. So he went with $75,000 to the Rangers for a first-round pick. That's the first and only time it's ever happened in history of the NHL. I think probably because you just can't establish the value of what a coach is.
Yeah. I mean that's why sometimes some coaches, they're way underpaid than the players, you know, and then you have other situations where players come in and they're like, the coach is paid more.
Well, when you mention, like guys like Scotty Bowman, I mean, you think about it, you talk about being one of the greatest coaches of all time. Look at the teams he's had.
Yeah.
He had the Habs in the 70s.
Yeah.
He had Pittsburgh in the 80s. He had the Red Wings when they were on a run.
Right.
Really?
Right.
I mean, what can you say?
But he must have still has he has a thing with them. Even sometimes
Pat Riley of the NHL.
It's people when they get brought in on those big winning teams. Sometimes they make are discredited or people start to see, well, wait, this guy isn't because he's got this great team and he's not, and that's maybe what's going on with the Pittsburgh coach. Yeah,
I think a lot of times it's just managing the personalities.
Yes.
How do you get a good practice and get the best out of guys like Mario, Guy Lafleur, and Paul Coffey and those guys?
Up in Detroit, Zetterberg. I mean, these are all these powerhouses up in Detroit that have had great coaches.
How do you do it? Because it's more than just putting the team together, right? It's getting the best out of them every night. So,
and some guys you have to give accolades to.
Yep.
Some guys you yell at.
Yep.
I mean, you have to. That's the way you figure. That's how I do coaching. You figure out which players are the ones that best reflective. If I say, "Hey, great job. Hey, you made the mistake last time, so now you talk about the mistake with them." But I have to keep saying, "But you did great the time before that."
Yep.
And then there's other kids that, come on, get.
They said Tortorella's exactly that way. He'll tear a strip off of you, but then turn around and tell you something you did right.
Yep.
And still in the NHL room, he does that. So. Expansion. One of the other big things that I know last year was a huge hot topic.
Right.
They were all over it because, I actually looked back at the teams they were talking about or locations they were talking about. A second team in Toronto, north of Toronto. Waterloo, Ontario. That's Jim Balsillie, the guy who invented a BlackBerry.
Okay.
Got more money than God.
Okay.
Hamilton, Ontario, and that got into a territory match between Toronto and Buffalo because it's right there in the middle.
You're right.
Seattle.
And Hamilton has a AHL team.
No, they lost it last year.
Oh, okay.
They were the Bulldogs.
That's right.
Now it's Ontario Hockey League.
And they won the Calder Cup. Not maybe.
It's been a while if they did.
06, 05, maybe they did.
Yeah, it's been a bit, but I believe you're right.
A year I came into the league.
Yes, you are. Quebec City, still in the mix. They do have a brand new building. They played an expansion game, a preseason game there.
The team was always supported there, right? They were
always ravenously.
Yeah.
Ravenously. Interesting fact, talking about trivia. Once again, love trivia.
Yeah.
The year that the Avalanche or the Nordiques moved to Quebec from Quebec City to Colorado,
right,
Denver.
Yeah.
Someone actually did the distance plot, and from Le Colisée in Quebec City to the Pepsi Center in Denver was the exact number of miles. It was the same as the year that Colorado won the Stanley Cup.
Nah.
Yeah.
Those things are freaky.
Someone obviously did too much homework.
Yeah,
too
yeah,
much time
yeah.
on their hands. But that's
I know some guy like that.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah. Las Vegas is in there, of course. Kansas City was in there briefly.
Oh, yeah.
Only because they have a stadium. We know Kansas City has always had a bad history supporting hockey at pretty much any level. And I think, honestly, league's got to stop doing this expansion stuff and actually looking at the teams right now that are bust.
Right.
You look
Move
at,
them
there's
out.
a couple of markets right now. They said there's about 10 teams, 8 to 10 teams that are finding in the red pretty thick.
Okay.
So, we talked about Phoenix. Now we
Right.
finally got to know, is this still the best place to put it and make it most successful? Probably not.
They get a following, but if they have a bad year,
They're a very fair weather fan. There's no
Yes,
question
yes.
there. It's not exactly a hotbed. It's not Edmonton.
right.
We're in last place. You're still going to have 20,000 people
Yep.
in the arena,
Philly, New York. I mean, those
Yep.
places.
Yep.
Well, the Islanders looked bad for a while, and they weren't getting no fans.
Yeah.
But now they're back.
Yeah, they're
and now
back.
they're in Brooklyn.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Did you see that scoreboard when you were there, by the way? The
No.
non-centered scoreboard?
no, I didn't see that. No.
Barclays Center. But, Columbus Blue Jackets, we talk about them being in a bad in a bad market.
Yep.
It's not a bad hockey market because
No.
good college market. It's an insane college market.
And that could hurt you, though.
Yeah.
People are more into college sports than they are pro.
Absolutely. I thought when I think it was after Katrina, the New Orleans Saints, changing sports here, New Orleans Saints played a home game in Tiger Stadium in Baton Rouge. And I thought, my God, 70, 80,000 seater. They're going to pack this place. It was like third full because nobody in that city really cared about
Yeah.
professional. They loved what they loved.
They were college.
Yep.
Big college town.
Yep. So you got to wonder about Columbus. Florida,
Yeah. They're fair weather friends. Look where they're fair weather people because they're people that almost all from cold.
Yep.
Upper East Coast.
Literally fair weather.
They all fly down to New York. I mean, down to Boca and all those
Yep.
places and live down there for nice when it's cold up north. So they're fair weather people.
So, do we look at expansion or do we look at relocation? So, real quick, just want to a couple other stories caught my mind here. We talk about, cover every form of hockey except for bubble hockey.
Right. But we do.
Actually, I heard it this morning on NHL radio that we will talk about it. Molson Canadian is actually sponsoring Mark Recchi on a bubble hockey tour.
I love to play them. I'm telling you, people. I'm not joking with how good I
Wrecking
am.
Ball is playing bubble hockey again, and he's taking all takers.
I
So,
would love to play them.
Yep, he's in Collingwood, Ontario, I think tonight. Not anywhere we're going to make tonight.
Yeah.
But anyways.
I'm not even. Yeah.
David Ayers, big chirp goes out to him. Special one for me, at least.
Yes.
Who the hell is David Ayers? Well, he is the Zamboni driver for the Toronto Marlies. Why are we giving chirps to the Zamboni driver? Well, for starters, he does a great job. But
And the Toronto Marlies are the AHL affiliate of the Toronto Maple Leafs.
correct, just
And they're
down the
right-
street.
Right down the street.
Literally, you can almost see it from Air Canada Center. Anyways, Antoine Bibeau, who's their backup goalie, went up. Bernier was down, and so they had one goalie. They were playing in Rochester that night. What are they going to do? They don't have a goalie because he was called up literally on the fly. They called Ayers and wanted him down in Rochester to dress as an emergency backup goalie.
Oh, that was on the road.
Yes, it was on the road.
I
So
thought
he
they
had to
were
go
home.
out of country to do it.
So their Zamboni driver
Yep.
at home
Yep.
got called to go down.
Yeah, he got there in an hour and a half, which from Rochester to Toronto, I'm pretty sure there were not many stop signs over there. But yes, he signed the contract, 38 years old. Now, he's more than the Zamboni driver. He's actually practiced with the team. He's been a fill-in. He's been an emergency for practices and things like that.
Right.
Practiced with the Black Aces and things like that.
Yeah.
So he's not like some guy they haul off the street. But anyways, big props to him. Last thing I know, we're coming up on a break here. Antti Niemi, we talked about this off air. And
Interesting.
Yep, interesting story. He got credit with a win for the Dallas Stars. Yes, Billy, we're talking about the Dallas Stars again.
Yes.
Anyways, came in. They were down. They were up 5-1 going into the third against Carolina.
Right.
Kari Lehtinen started the third as he started the game. He let in 4 to tie it. And at the 6:43 minute of the third period, coach pulled him out, threw Niemi in. Niemi got credit with the win when Patrick Sharp scored with 19 seconds left in the third. And he did not touch a puck the entire time he was in. He is the first and only goalie in the history of the NHL to get credit with a win and play more than 5 minutes without touching a puck.
Wow. That's cool.
Nice, easy night's work, eh?
Yeah, right. And so wonder how the backup feels. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Win's a win, right? Team wins, a team wins.
That's right. Yeah. That's what he's saying.
Sure
That's what he's saying driving home. Team win. Yeah, that was a great team win. I got pulled in front of my wife.
Exactly. All right, we are coming up on a hard break here. Maddie's going to pay some bills for us. You're listening to The Other State of Hockey, ESPN 1350.
Go where the action is. Your Des Moines Buccaneers, the continuous home of hockey in the Metro for over 36 years, are back. Come catch the hard-hitting action as the next NHL stars take the ice at Buccaneer Arena. For a complete schedule of dates and promotions, visit buckshockey.com. Come for the entertainment, stay for the game.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash, the t-shirt tie. I like Chuckapop. Crash always gives me a high five. It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon. The goal horn when we score.
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild, hockey lives here.
I'm sitting here with Jeremy from Atomic Cloud Vaporium. I tried to quit smoking so many times. Patches, pills, nothing worked. Until I went to the Stop Smoking Center. And man, it has changed everything.
Here at Atomic Cloud Vaporium, we offer a solution using vaping as a replacement therapy. We have over 150 premium juice flavors and offer a wide variety of hardware. If you're serious about quitting smoking, come visit us at 3823 Douglas Avenue in Des Moines or at 328 Grand Avenue in West Des Moines. Atomic Cloud Vaporium.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the mega We Sell Everything superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stanbro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com.
From Iowa, yeah.
It's that small place with a big heart. It's the heartland, so we pump hard, get a fist up, we're gonna rage on till our day.
We are back. The Other State of Hockey, 1350 ESPN. The giggles never stop in this place. All right, like we said, we are the only full-time dedicated media outlet to the great sport of hockey, to educate and uprise the people that are supporting of this game to the point that we wake and shake the traditional media to pay attention to us. We cannot be forgotten.
Nope.
Wow, what a call to arms.
Yes,
all right,
yes.
Back at the second period, brought to you by our good friends over at Felix and Oscars.
Felix and Oscars, yes.
They are right here on Merle Hay in the shadow of our building.
Mm-hmm.
The original location, been there since 93, I believe.
Oh.
I mean, there's the original sports bar before the term sports bar became cool. You know, they have it's more than just going in and the wings are okay and everything else is crap. These guys have great menu, great food, great quality, good service. They want to bring in bigger groups. They're not going to say, hey, yeah, you can bring your team in, but it's going to be $50 just to get a space for you. And then it's a minimum 18% gratuity. They want to make their gratuity off your satisfaction. So if you come in, they want you to come in and enjoy yourself, feel welcomed, good food, good times, good atmosphere. Couldn't ask for better. And
really, yeah. I mean, when you say good food, I'm saying like if you want to go out to eat, and I don't mean you just want to go out to eat. You want to go out to eat? Yeah. You go there.
Yep. It's the only place in town that makes the authentic Chicago-style pizza. It's going to take a little bit. but you can call ahead.
Call ahead. Come on.
You can find out all the details on their website, felixandoscars.com. And they're on Facebook as well. Check them out.
Yes.
We love them.
Nice.
All right. This segment brought to you by
Flat Tire.
Flat Tire.
Big time. Flat Tire Center. 2 T's in that flat, too. That's 2 T's. We love flat.
Yep. All right. We are back, and we've got an old friend of ours here in the show, in the studio for the show. We've got Bobby Ray Kemper. He is from grllaw.com.
Yes.
And also one of the guys that brought us these sweet new shirts. I was going to put mine on, but I don't know if I could dress it.
Maddie, put the camera on me. So anyone on the podcast can see. Oh, look, no, I'm wearing
That's what
mine.
it looks like on a kid. That's a kid size right there.
That's real nice.
Man size right here.
Yeah.
So.
I love it. I love it.
All right. So, Oh Crap app. So, Bobby, go ahead and tell us a little bit about it. What's the app about?
It's in development for another stage, but right now the functionality is to educate people on what their rights are. Anytime they are involved with an interaction with law enforcement, allows them to record and remotely upload the interaction. Also gives them quick connections to local attorneys, regardless of where they are at in the nation. So it GPS geolocates the person, gives them the correct information, correct contacts, and away they go.
And the laws change when you actually cross state lines,
You
too.
cross the border, everything changes. Yep.
How cool is that?
I know.
I mean, we're not advocating, but we want people to make sure that you know what your rights are.
I want to advocate and know your rights.
Yeah.
I love my
Well, we're not
First
advocating
Amendment. I love
people trying to get away with what they can, but we want people to be protected.
Don't be an idiot.
Don't be an idiot, basically.
Don't be an idiot. And this helps you not be an
What
idiot.
does he say? When in doubt, shut up.
Yeah.
Rule number 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what. Well, last time we talked about the app on this show, I talked about how I said you don't have to listen to what your drunk uncle told you. If the cop doesn't say his badge number when he walks up to you, you don't have to answer anything. This gives you the real information. It's legal, real information. So try that stuff your uncle tells you. See where he winds up.
Probably where your uncle.
He'll bail you out of
probably
jail,
where your
too.
uncle spent 10 to 12, right? So a couple of the other things that Bobby does for us, he is our legal counsel, try to keep us out of trouble. God help him.
Right.
He clearly didn't know what he got into when he signed us. But anyways, we bring him on when we have these stories in the media that we want to get some legal interpretation and just his thoughts from the legal world, because unfortunately our sport is graced sometimes with these incidents that do end up in the court of law.
Right.
So it was announced this week that the family of Steve Matador, for those of you who don't know who Steve Matador was, he was a journeyman lunch pail kind of guy. He played with 6 different teams in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
He bounced around. He was a tough guy. There was no mixing of that. He was not known for making his paycheck with his gloves on.
Okay.
You did get a few points, but this is a guy who was a tough guy. So he was found dead at the age of 35 in his Toronto area apartment by what was ruled an accidental suicide, I believe was the official definition by the coroner. Judging by some of the chemistry that was in his system, he really was pushing the envelope of accidental.
Right.
Several illegals, as well as high dose of some prescriptions as well. Unfortunate circumstance, no doubt, left his family. I know he had at least one young son in there. So as the family brought this suit forward against the NHL, basically, Bobby can articulate this prettier than I can, but basically saying the NHL held back information that basically contributed to the cause of his death.
Yeah, exactly right.
So, Bobby, kind of just walk us through. We kind of gave you your walking papers for your homework last night. Yeah. So kind of just walk us through what you saw from this by reading the initial paper.
It's very similar to the NFL lawsuits that were settled in that class action, and it's almost identical to the pending class action with the NHL players. What they're in essence saying is they're suing the NHL, saying, "Listen, you knew or should have known of the greater risks associated with head injuries resulting from the sport and how you built the sport up through the fighting, and you did nothing to warn or to protect the players, in particular Matador, and as a result, he suffered all of these damages, including the addictions and that kind of thing that ultimately led to his death."
Right. And we know that medical science is now getting to the point where they are attributing this condition called CTE, which is chronic traumatic encephalitis. And basically it's a degenerative brain condition very similar to Alzheimer's. And they're seeing this on the autopsies of some of these people, football players, soldiers, people have been in multiple concussive atmospheres. And actually, Steve's brain was donated by his family, and they did confirm on his autopsy that he did have this CTE condition, which was fairly advanced. We're talking a bit about this off the air, trying to make that direct connection. I mean, like you said, they tried to they came out and said that because of the glorification of fighting in the NHL, of these stage fights and things like that, that this basically the NHL was pushing him to do this, which led him to a lifestyle of drug abuse and ultimately causing his death, which that's a pretty broad stretch, wouldn't you say?
It is, and what happens, a lot of that has been taken directly from the lawsuit or the petition that gets filed with the court, and the lawyers will routinely drama that up because they know the press is going to read that. They're not giving a direct statement,
right?
So the press can just print whatever is written in the petition. It's a old-fashioned trick to get your version across to everybody.
True or not.
Right.
It's an allegation. It's notice pleading, and we'll see what we can prove up later. But really, the focus is going to come down to the causal connection to the death and or the advanced injuries from failure to take action to protect them. I don't think they'll have. It seems medically that they should be able to prove some type of causal connection between brain damage and repeatedly bonking your head or getting hit in the head. That makes perfect sense.
No question. Getting hit in your head is not a good thing.
But resulting in addiction and result ultimately in the death, that's going to be the more attenuated area. But like a lot of these cases, most of these aren't being filed to go to trial.
Right.
Most of them are being filed to have a class action settlement that can then hopefully at least compensate current players and create programs and that kind of thing for the guys that have retired.
As we're seeing now with the league having a new concussion protocol, which is still to be covered but in the GM's meeting, I believe today or tomorrow, I'm not sure. But as we saw in the NFL, they had that big settlement we talked about off the air. It was $765 million for a total of, I think, 4,500 players. Now, we know what kind of a money machine the NFL.
Did you do the math on that? I'd love to see what each one got. But
there wasn't a lump sum per, but it was when we were talking about that number of players, 4,500 players. A lot of them are long gone, I'm sure. So it was a matter of they got. I personally think the NFL got off cheap.
Yeah, I mean,
and they put concussion protocols in place, which we've heard of them getting bent and twisted and broken the last.
And there's a big movie coming out on Christmas Day that's going to kind of shock and awe people.
Shake that world. Yep. So looking back at Montador, he did have 15 at the time documented concussions. Total of 69 fights in the NHL, which once again, the concussive thing is definitely there. Like I said, making that connection between the CTE condition that he generated that he came up with, and actually directly causing his death.
He was a fighter.
Yes.
I mean, that's his.
He was a heavyweight. Yeah. He fought all the big guys.
And he had 571 games in NHL and probably, how
many goals?
33 goals.
So he's not on a torrid pace, but how many pins did he have?
807.
807.
And but I mean, in his whole career, and for people, I'm looking at it on Wikipedia right now. I mean, he had a lot of time he spent in the OHL, which you could fight, the AHL.
Yep.
So a lot of time in those two, so.
That's just his NHL totals.
That's just his NHL totals.
Right. So you do the math, and he's done a lot of work with his mitts off.
Yeah.
I feel bad for this family about this, but like we talked about last night, Bobby, this website that's out there now, which is NHLconcussionlitigation.com, I believe it is. The only thing this is missing is a late night infomercial.
Oh yeah, it's getting the word out there. But I will say this for the effect that these types of lawsuits have. Look at before the NFL lawsuit happened. What was the concussion protocol?
None.
Yeah.
For youth sports.
None.
Absolutely none.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what's resulted from that is people paying attention, more studies, more research, and now high school has a concussion protocol. Kids sports have concussion protocols.
Yep.
Think of how much smarter we'd be now if we had a concussion protocol growing up.
Yeah.
That's my excuse.
Yeah, right.
Oh, it says the lawyer.
Sorry about that.
Yeah.
If I missed something in those documents, guys, I apologize. It's football.
That's right, it was football. Dang football. Foosball. Well, we talked about part of this in the suit also said that the NHL withheld information, and which, you know, we talk about the science of this is still being perfected. We talked about this with Dr. Gary a couple weeks ago. For them to come out and say basically that the NHL had better research and better medical proof than the current medical community, that's pretty testy. They were supposed to have a survey to actually investigate concussions, but the union says, well, you didn't share it completely with us. And as Bobby said, it wasn't completely objective because of the people that they had hired to do this. So I think, honestly, it's a mess. Bobby, if you had to put money on this, and someone's going to have to, it sounds like, where would you see this ending up?
It'll settle. They'll come up with another settlement. They'll put it into some type of program, annuities, and create programs for the past, present, and future players.
Yep.
There'll be a lot of changes with concussion protocols. I don't see how the NHL can get rid of fighting.
No, they won't.
Part of the
but
game.
It's become a lot less. I mean, you don't see it.
No,
you don't see it much.
And now you can't remove your helmet because the old fighters would say if they were fighting another fighter as respect, because you break your hand on a helmet, they would remove their helmets and
do that. Now it's not an extra 5 extra 10.
Yep. And then that's why some players would let the other guy take off their helmets, but now they're even charging you. Yep. You're getting a penalty for letting the other guy.
And a fine in the AHL. It is a fine.
Yeah. So.
All right, we're coming up on a hard break. Thanks to Bobby for coming in.
Yes.
GRLlaw.com. Oh, crap app. Looks like we're heading up on a hard break. Maddie's going to pay some bills for us on the other state of hockey, 1350 ESPN.
Brilliant piece. Brilliant piece.
Go where the action is. Your Des Moines Buccaneers, the continuous home of hockey in the Metro for over 36 years, are back. Come catch the hard-hitting action as the next NHL stars take the ice at Buccaneer Arena. For a complete schedule of dates and promotions, visit buckshockey.com. Come for the entertainment, stay for the game.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash, the t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Pop. Crash always gives me a high five. It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon, the goal horn when we score.
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild, hockey lives here.
I'm sitting here with Jeremy from Atomic Cloud Vaporium. I tried to quit smoking so many times. Patches, pills, nothing worked. Until I went to the Stop Smoking Center. And man, it has changed everything.
Here at Atomic Cloud Vaporium, we offer a solution using vaping as a replacement therapy. We have over 150 premium juice flavors for a wide variety of hardware. If you're serious about quitting smoking, come visit us at 3823 Douglas Avenue in Des Moines or at 328 Grand Avenue in West Des Moines. Atomic Cloud Vaporium.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the Mega We Sell Everything Superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We have been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stambro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstambrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. Jen@jenstambrorealestate.com.
From Iowa, yeah.
It's that small place with a big heart. It's the heartland, so we pump hard, get a fist up. We're gonna rage on till our day comes.
Tell 'em I'm from a city on the map that you couldn't point out, but I rep that place. And it's love, hate.
Fuzzy Taco. Yeah. So, I told you, they got a new location.
Yeah,
downtown.
Not far from your place.
Not far. So it's on
downtown.
Downtown. It's on where's that place again? Now that's one on Martin Luther. And it's a new facility. It's a whole new place being built.
Mall.
Yeah, a whole little. I wouldn't call it a strip mall. That's kind of.
Yeah,
it always sounds like New Jersey.
It's a derogatory term.
Yeah, it sounds like New
Yeah.
Jersey strip mall, but. No, but so Fuzzy Taco's downtown now, and then they still have their Ankeny location. Ankeny location is 2732 East Douglas Avenue.
We're not saying where it's across from.
Yes. And man, just it's always the best. You know, that's we talk about atmosphere. Same thing with our other sponsor.
Yep.
But there's such a good. They always have hockey on the TV.
Yeah.
Oh, every time you go to F&O, geez, every time you go to Fuzzy Taco
Or F&Os.
yeah. But there's always hockey on the TV. There's always someone from hockey in there too. I always get to run into. It's fun. And then you know, it's just a great atmosphere. Just the breakfast. I mean, it's
Par excellent.
It is the best breakfast in the city. And so until you go check it out, you ain't going to know. But I'm telling you right now, and when you know, you're going to say, oh, that Frank dude was right.
Yeah.
Taco. Again, I'll give you both addresses. 300 Martin Luther King Drive. That's right across the street from the baseball park. Lincoln Principal, yeah. And then the other one is at 2732 East Delaware Avenue, and that is in Ankeny, right off the highway.
Yep, right off the highway.
That's it.
All right, we're back. This segment brought to you by
Leaf Guard.
Leaf Guard.
Guard
Here's
your
our boys.
You want to guard your house on the ice? You want to guard your house outside?
Yep.
You put if you can keep your gutter from filling up and freezing. Yes, exactly. The last time I was cleaning out my gutters, I was on the back of my truck with a ladder, driving the truck, and I would keep the ladder up there, and I would drive the truck a little bit, and then climb up the ladder and get back down.
Excellent.
That's how I did it.
Yeah. So have those guys call the experts. They say hiring a professional is expensive. Try hiring an amateur.
That's right. Lawsuits there.
Exactly. Not missing damage.
We're
back. The other state of hockey. Third period. Holy cow! Show is just flying. Thanks to Bobby Raycamper coming in from GRL Law. And
he loves them assignments. He loves them.
I know. I can see his eyes light up as soon as I text him. Hey, Bobby, we got an assignment.
Okay.
He drops everything and immediately texts me back. We did give him a little chirp off the air about playing his first and probably only game on ice. The game he said he never would play. He was talking about how exhausted he was and how tired and how hot he was, and he was playing against 10-year-olds.
That's right.
So, Mr. Football, we'll see. How's that working?
Mr. Concussion.
Yeah, we want to see him back on the ice, but I want to take a couple of shots myself. So we're back talking about the other news that we've had in the world of hockey. Pascal Dupuis from the Pittsburgh Penguins announced abruptly this week that he is hanging his skates up due to a medical condition. He has a condition that causes him to have abnormal blood clots.
Blood clots, yeah. You're saying, and I don't know much about blood clots. And you said you know a little bit.
Yeah, well, I did do a little research, as I usually do, but he had a lot of problems. I think he had pulmonary embolus, which is a blood clot in your lung. He's had a couple of problems with that. But apparently, in doing research, his original condition that started this hypercoagulable state, there's a big medical word for you, was after he had a major knee injury in 2013. And from that, the inflammatory process that was started with his knee surgery, knee injury, it apparently is like a reaction type thing. Once you have a traumatic event that starts that cascading problem, that it's hard. It's a runaway reaction.
So you can continue if you have blood clots once, you can get them again.
Potentially. Yes. Some of them have these conditions. You know, it could be a genetic condition. You got to wonder sometimes if dietary has something to do with it. A lot of these guys eat high vitamin K foods and stuff.
Okay.
All the green stuff, kale and all that kind of stuff. Vitamin K is very integral to your body's ability to clot. And to break up clots. So
and see, when I was a kid, I used to eat a lot of vinegary foods, and my parents, everyone used to always say, they're like, "God, it's so good for you." But I mean, you can eventually make your blood thin, but vinegar can thin out your blood. So,
interesting.
Wonder if I'm like a rabbit when I run.
Yeah. So it's tragic for this guy. He's still, I think he's 36 or 7, something like that.
Right.
But looking back, there's been a few other guys that have been in the NHL world that have run into these problems. Thomas Fleischmann is currently with the Canadiens. He had a problem a few years ago that they seem to have him under control.
Right.
He's on this apparently the NHL actually has a program for these people with blood clot disorders.
I mean, we just had Timonen.
Yes, Kimmo Timonen.
Yep.
From the Stanley Cup champions, went out as a champion.
He was a Flyer for a long time.
Yeah, but he finally won his cup.
He did win his cup. I'm happy for him.
Thomas Vokoun. He's been a journeyman. He played with the Flyers for a while. Played for Nashville. Right-handed goalie. That's the reason I remember him. But he had a problem with blood clots in his leg. DVTs in his leg. Actually, said at one point his leg was something like 10 inches around bigger in circumference of his calf than the other calf.
Really? See, it boggles me like how that.
Jed Ortmeyer, who is an Omaha native,
works
with the AAA team over there, I believe.
Okay.
He had to retire because of blood clot problems. Paul Postma also had to do the same thing. There's been a few players all along the way that have kind of run into this problem that have been managed long enough for them to make it through a good career. But we were talking about Kimmo Timonen. His actually started from blocking a shot. He got it low in the ankle, and that was apparently the event that started this.
That was
reaction.
the traumatic event, or
So,
trauma to the body.
I'm sure there'll be more research on this, but anyways,
this show's been a real upper this week. I mean,
we're all over the medical
lawsuits
thing,
with concussions and deaths.
Yep. Well, there you go. This will make you feel better. Alexander Semin, former 40-goal scorer with Carolina Hurricanes, has cleared unconditional waivers to be sent to the American Hockey League, which I believe if you clear unconditional waivers, you can be declared a free agent. So
he'll probably be picked up.
If I don't know.
He played with Washington, right? He played Washington for a while. He had a real good year at Washington.
He had a couple, but he's on the back end of a career too. You got to wonder what they got. So
Philly will take him,
dead or alive.
Like $5 million too, probably.
Dead or alive, they'll take him. So we'll start talking about the other stuff's happening. We didn't get to talk about the Wild much last week.
No, or our other teams,
or our other teams. Yeah. So we're actually gonna get a bit of time bend to these guys. So Wild finally this week, we actually saw a bit of a departure. Last Thursday went into Cleveland, Lake Erie, and that's our boy TJ Tynan.
Yes,
I like to prop him whenever he's around.
Mm-hmm.
Gave Cleveland their first loss at home this year.
See, they're like the Bucks. Then the Bucks are beating all the tops.
Yep.
But when it comes to just playing normal game, the same average or below games, you get whooped.
Play the level of your competition.
Yeah, right.
Yep. That was the entire month of November without a point. So rough, lean month of November. Leland Irving has established himself right now as the starter, which is good to see. We have somebody grabbing the bull by the horns at least.
Yes.
They had a solid effort in that game. They lost the night after. They had a 1-0 lead. So the great thing about this game that they broke the schneid with, they were down 2-0 and came back 4 unanswered goals.
Okay.
So seeing that kind of drive out of the boys is great to see. They had another lead the next night, ended up losing 2-1. But they gutted it out. A lot more physical game, winning puck battles, stuff like that. Now, of course, they played here Tuesday night and managed to dig their way into a 3-0 hole against the Chicago Wolves. Clawed back to tie it in the third period. So they were down 3-0 in the third, going into the third. Clawed back it got 2 or 3 power play goals in the third period to actually get back, tie the game. Couple things, they ended up losing with an empty netter. So, it was a 1-puck game for 3/4 of the game. So,
right.
Maybe we're finally starting to see signs. Maybe it has something to do with having our boyfriend of the show, Mark Hagel, back in the lineup.
Yes.
Giving the team a heart transplant. We look at guys like Birchie playing well. Aviante, this new kid that they signed. I hope I pronounced his name right. New center that they just signed. Looks to be doing well. He's not afraid to throw the body. We're scoring a couple of power play goals. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Watching a power play before was like playing keep away. No shots. So, still having trouble finishing it out, but hopefully it's the way things are starting to turn around. This week we got, we're on the road in Rockford.
Mm-hmm.
That's tomorrow night. And then home Sunday night for Star Wars night.
Yes.
Usually brings out an interesting element.
Yes.
But always been a fun game, and that'll be against against Grand Rapids, and then the 15th in Charlotte. Coming up on Hard Break.
Yes, Bucks when you come back.
Bucks when we come back, plus a couple other things just to kind of keep you interested. Yes. You're listening to The Other State of Hockey, 1350 ESPN Des Moines.
I think that we have more time now.
Go where the action is. Your Des Moines Buccaneers, the continuous home of hockey in the Metro for over 36 years, are back. Come catch the hard-hitting action as the next NHL stars take the ice at Buccaneer Arena. For a complete schedule of dates and promotions, visit buckshockey.com. Come for the entertainment, stay for the game.
Hi, Joe Smith here from Leaf Guard Exteriors. We suggest you stay off your ladder and let us take care of your gutters. We'd love to come out and show you why Leaf Guard's patented seamless one-piece design is the best on the market. The only one with the good housekeeping seal, and Leaf Guard is guaranteed never to clog or will clean your gutters for free. Call us today and get 50% off installation labor on a new Leaf Guard brand gutter system. 599-1675. That's 599-1675.
Hey kids, why do you like going to the Iowa Wild games?
Crash, the t-shirt tie. I like Chuck-a-Pop. Crash always gives me a high five. It's fun catching t-shirts from the cannon. The goal horn when we score.
There's something for everyone with Iowa Wild Hockey at Wells Fargo Arena. Check out iowawild.com for the full season schedule, including a full list of giveaway nights and promotions for the family. Iowa Wild, hockey lives here.
I'm sitting here with Jeremy from Atomic Cloud Vaporium. I tried to quit smoking so many times. Patches, pills, nothing worked. Until I went to the Stop Smoking Center. And man, it has changed everything.
Here at Atomic Cloud Vaporium, we offer a solution using vaping as a replacement therapy. We have over 150 premium juice flavors and offer a wide variety of hardware. If you're serious about quitting smoking, come visit us at 3823 Douglas Avenue in Des Moines or at 328 Grand Avenue in West Des Moines. Atomic Cloud Vaporium.
This is Jordan from Flat Tire Center. There sure are a lot of places to buy tires. You can go to a warehouse club or the Mega We Sell Everything Superstore, or you can go to one of those anonymous websites. The same guy who sold you soap yesterday magically becomes a tire professional today, or the online tire advisors at a call center in who knows what country. We've been living, working, and driving in central Iowa for more than 50 years. Are you sure those other stores know what they're doing? Do you think they even care? If you need tires, come to Flat Tire Centers. That's flat with 2 T's because you too should ride on a flat.
Hey, this is Frank Mink, and if I had a first-round draft pick of realtors, I'd take Jen Stanbro.
Through my mortgage background and over 10 years of selling real estate in the Des Moines area, I have come to realize that my clients are my passion. Whether selling or buying your first or your 10th home, let me help you take the stress out of the process. I would love the opportunity to talk with you or someone you know that is looking to buy or sell a home. You can reach out to me by email at jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com. And Frank, that's spelled STANBROUGH. jen@jenstanbrorealestate.com.
From Iowa, yeah. It's that small place with a big heart. It's the heartland.
Quad Cities. We got this. Hold on, let me do this now. Let me get on this. Come on. Hey, welcome back to the other state of hockey. Hey, this is, again, one of the outlets and the media that covered Iowa hockey. And so with that being said, we're also powered by Webcast One Live.
We are.
And you can go on after the show is aired. And if you missed something, you want to rehear, you want to share something with a friend, you can go on and watch the podcast, see these two beautiful faces.
Made for radio.
We're on there. We're on the podcast. And so you can watch it, listen, but share it with somebody. Tell somebody, people that like hockey. That guy in the office always wearing all the Blackhawks gear. Tell him, you say, hey, you know what? There's a hockey. Or keep it a secret for a week, find some facts out, go back, bust him at work about some facts, and then tell him you got it from the radio show. So I am Frank Mink. That is Derek Hender over there. We have put this show together about a year ago, doing some other stuff, podcasting mostly, but we put this show together for people to be able to understand and listen to hockey in Iowa. And we have great sponsors and friends like Jen Stanbro.
Absolutely.
I mean, people like that who have come on board and said, we want to support you. We support the show. Our children play hockey. We love the sport. It's one of the greatest sports on earth, greatest team sport to play. And here we are.
So we're in overtime.
Yes.
We're 1-on-1. I guess not 3-on-3, but
that's right.
Overtime brought to you by.
I don't want to go to a shootout.
No, we're not going to shootout.
No shootouts.
Overtime brought to you by Frank.
Overtime is, what's that? Jen. That's what I already gave her Jen.
Okay.
I'll re-give Jen another. We'll give
her another chirp. She's worth it.
Greatest person. You want to buy a house? You buy a house with Jen Stanbro.
Yep. All right. We're all over the shop here right now. We're a little punchy this week.
We are.
Sure, man. It's just, I don't know.
My wife's been gone all week, so I'm taking care of the kids.
So you're on craft dinner overload.
Oh, I'm done. Done. Anybody want any kids?
For lease?
For a week.
So, as Frank did say, we are the other state of hockey. We talk about everything that's going on here. We'll look at, real quick, what we got going on in the local association. Des Moines Youth Hockey is coming up with the 2016 Learn to Play program. So, you have a kid at home that's been bothering you, wants to learn to play hockey. You want to know if this is for him. This is a great chance to get out, get your skates on, and try it, see what you think, before you just decide to go out and sign up. Pretty much anyone could do this from age 4 and up, and I won't put a limit on it. But typically, I have a kid on one of my on my Bantam team. He was 13 when he first put on skates.
Wow!
And he's 6'4".
Okay,
big kid. Scored his first goal last night.
Size.
No, can't coach size. Scored his first goal last night ever.
Okay,
and he could knock a smile off his face. But that's what it's all about. Get them out there. See if your kids like it. See if you like it. Heck, it is the greatest sport. So January 6th, it lasts for 10 weeks. Two sessions a week. Wednesday night and Sunday. So Wednesday at 7. Sundays at 2. 45-minute sessions. It's very structured. Teaches the basics of skating, starting, stopping, shooting, passing, gameplay. Just trying to get enough to see if you like it, see if your kids like it. You got a problem, you need equipment. The league has some that we can get to you. Give it a try without having to go spend all the money on something that you're worried that you may not end up your kids liking.
And that leads me to Des Moines roller hockey starts again. The new season starts in January. Same thing. We have if you're afraid you don't want to invest so much because your child just might be getting into hockey, we have starter kits and packs that we can give you or loan to you, and it gives you basically all the equipment you need. And we hope that your kid will fall in love with the game. So register at dmrollerhockey.com, and that league, the new league for the winter, starts in January. So it's a good Christmas present. It's not that expensive, pretty cheap.
Gift to hockey keeps on giving.
That's it. So there you go. Check out dmrollerhockey.com.
And just quickly to come back to the dmyha.org is where you can find the information about the ICE Learn to Play. It's $150 for 20 sessions.
Wow.
That's a steal and a half,
yeah.
I tell you. So, no excuse.
Did I cut you off when you were talking?
No. I remember to put that in there.
Oh, because you heard me say .com.
Exactly. We do pick each other up here. We do get an assist every once in a while.
Come on, Rook. All
right. Bucks. We'll talk about them.
Yeah. Bucks.
All right. Bucks.
So, look, I love the Bucks.
I'm hitting my head against my microphone.
And, we got two teams. They're both not doing real well. There are two teams that you pay to go watch, But the Bucks have been a couple games now. 2 games, they were in the lead. And then the team started coming back on them. And this is what I see. And I've never talked to the coaches or anyone about it because they'll say, who the heck are you?
Or they say, shut up, Frank.
Which they would say to me anyway. What it looks like every time, Bucks will be up 3-0 or 3-1. Then the team will score another one. And you get to see they lose every swagger. They had this whole energy the whole time. They were up and then they got scored on. And then you get to see it and it happens. And then you just, at the third period, you feel like you're watching your favorite boxer and he's about to get knocked out and you're just hoping he can hold on long enough. That's what it is.
Stay in there, Rick.
Yeah, come on. Cut me, Mick. Something's got to happen. And so that's what it looked like to me. And the last few games have been, we were up 3-0.
Yeah.
3-0 going into the third period. They scored 2 quick ones. We were playing, I think Green Bay or something. And then, and you just seen there's a kid on the team, and I'm not calling him out because he's actually a really great player, and he's going to Zach Jordan, who he was dominant the whole game, and I even seen it in him, and he's real dominant. He's a great player, and so I hope he doesn't think I'm calling him out. But I was watching him, and I just noticed his forecheck was a little bit softer. They felt like they just didn't want to lose.
Yeah,
let's just play
playing not to lose versus playing to win.
So and that can change. Look, and there's been a couple of good crowds down there, but that place, for that place and for that team to get energized, they need some, they need fans. They need more fans to go back to.
They feed off it.
They absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it's been I love to watch these kids develop, and I know that Patrick Grasso, it's his last year with us because he'll be going on to college now. And so, what a special thing. Our captain of the team is a local boy who is well respected in the league, well respected.
Mm-hmm.
So, we need to, people need to support the power play. When they have their power play going, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
They put that puck where a guy's going, and even, usually power plays, the guys are set. You try to get a guy open, you get the pass over. These guys are putting the pucks in open spaces because they know that they're rotating. Man, it's a beautiful thing. Dave
well into the system.
Davey and Nate did a great job with the power play. So that was one thing I really enjoy going down there watching, especially as a coach.
Yep.
And watch how they do it. And so, just come out, support the Bucks, and see what they got. Again, a couple of really good kids, and the Bucks. I mean, you walk in that building and you see all them names on that wall or the pictures on the wall of all the guys that went to the NHL from there.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Come through Des Moines.
Yeah,
because Des Moines doesn't have hockey. No,
absolutely not.
Damn media.
So looking back at the week that was for them, the 4th and the 5th, they had 2 games in Youngstown or Youngston. How would you pronounce it?
Youngstown
against the Phantoms. I can pronounce that.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. So the 4th, which was Friday, they went in scoreless into the second, and Youngston popped 4 quick ones, and we ended up losing 4-1. So they could not crack this guy. The game was back and forth. 4 quick goals, airs out of the tires. That'll pretty much suck the air out of your tires.
It will.
But
it hurts.
You got to, rebound. We always tell our kids, don't worry about what the scoreboard is. It's just that big fancy clock in the middle, right? The 5th, tight game once again. Tied at 2.
Right.
Back and forth. And looks like they were finally going to make it overtime and get a chance for at least 1 point and probably extra in overtime. Youngston scored with 1.2 seconds on the clock. I'm not sure how the USHL does it as far as determining how much time is on before the puck goes in.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't know if there's any element of home cooking involved with that, but you don't want to accuse them of that. But when your season's going wrong, everything's going wrong when you lose that kind of game.
Yep. And again, that their overtime's still the old 4-on-4. I heard they have tried a couple of 3-on-3s. I haven't seen it yet, but that's what I heard. But when those types of guys who aren't that big yet, growing still, there's a lot of space when it's 4-on-4. But I mean, the one game I did see in overtime at the Bucks at the arena, the Bucks actually, there was a goal disallowed. The other team high sticked it in, the obvious high stick.
Yep.
And then maybe 15 seconds later they came down and scored again. So
I mean, you think about actually the USHL would probably be an excellent place to play at 3-on-3. You'd never see a shootout because you imagine how much fun Magoo would have.
Yeah,
little guys, little speedsters out there would have with that kind of format that much open ice.
Yeah,
I mean he does well right now with just a little bit of open ice he gets. So
it's because he used to shoot on me down at Wells Fargo.
Well, the point I'm making: young, fast players coming up through, give them more room. It'd be interesting to see. I don't know if the rule changes are going through for next year, but it'll be interesting to see. So right now, upcoming Saturday, I think 1 game next week. Against Lincoln, the first place Lincoln Stars.
Yep.
It is the annual teddy bear toss. Did you see the one that happened for the Calgary Hitmen?
What was that?
28,000 pounds of teddy bears. They covered the entire sheet. You couldn't see anything.
I would, if someone said that if they were the opposing goalie, I would did everything to not let that happen. I would, but then they'll do it. They'll say because I worked for I worked for the Stars. They had the teddy bear toss the one time, and I remember who scored it. But before, I thought we were going into the 3rd, and we hadn't scored yet. And then we started putting on the radio to everyone. Look at the first media timeout or the second media timeout, which is first whistle after 7 minutes back then.
Yes.
First whistle after 7
and 12.
We'll put on the little siren thing, and everyone just throw teddy bears. Try to start telling everybody this.
Yep.
And I think it was. Marty Surdich and Chris Connors, I think were the two. One of them had the assist to the other one.
Yeah.
And I went and I got all the teddy bears and I jammed them in all the them two guys' lockers, which I don't think Chris Connors liked that too much.
Well, no, probably not. But anyway, so teddy bear toss coming up. So the Bucks right now sit in 8th place in the Western Conference.
Yes.
8, 13, and 12. I looked at their stats. They're leading the league right now as far as the least number of goals scored. We've only scored 49 goals so far. That's 12 less than the next highest team. They've got 78 goals against, which is 10 more than the next place team has. So they got some work to do.
Yep.
Got some good pieces there. Just a couple of quick things. What else is happening in Iowa hockey? Our boy, Chad Costello.
Chad Costello doing it.
Tearing the cover off the East Coast Hockey League, Allen Americans. He has got how many points?
Oh, wait. And I
30 points, I think we said?
Something like that. Here we go. I'll get it for you.
30 points.
Yep. And it's not even by goals, it's his assist.
Yep.
21 assists.
That's a team player, boys.
Yeah. 9 goals,
player.
21 assists. Goals, 13, 12. These are all the top scorers right here, 13, 12. But here, he has assists, 21. Yep. No one's even close.
Yep. That's a great team player. That's what separated Gretz from everybody else, made everyone around him great.
Yep.
Speaking of making everyone around him great, Frank,
Maddie.
you make me look good. Maddie makes us both look good. You're listening to The Other State of Hockey, 1350 ESPN, every Thursday. We are here, greatest sport on earth. Keep your stick on the ice, Des Moines.
Tell them I'm from a city on the map that you couldn't point out, but I rep that place.